what about the second movie though? Like, I think the second movie they did really well with the way they created the
Mm,
sets and
mm, mm.
with the basilisk, like the whole mystery of like
Yeah,
what is it that's kind of petrifying all those students and
yeah.
like why are they
And
getting
I
petrified? What
think
is
it's
the
great they went with, petrifying instead of dying because, like the readers were still too young in the second book and, death might have,
yeah
I
yeah
think, really. So I think that was a great strategic move, even though, like, in the.
on JK's part for sure, yeah. Like she did a really good job to kind of set up the whole idea of petrification is like caused because was caused because they didn't look at the basilisk in the eyes directly, and the whole idea of like the heir of Slytherin being a thing, and we didn't know what Voldemort like was or who is heir of Slytherin might be Voldemort, but what is the real thing behind it?
Was right there from the you had Dobby coming in and trying to warn Harry,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
like the whole that whole like I was just up in my heart when
yeah.
like he takes the cake above that relative of the Dursleys, friends of the
Oh, that
Dursleys, and he's like, Harry
was
Potter must not go to Hogwarts, and he drops it, and then Harry's just
yeah.
grounded.
Oh,
Oh, dude, and Ron comes to rescue him. Like, fuck.
dude, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It wasn't just Ron. It was Ron, Fred, and George, right? Like
Yeah,
all three of them.
always says.
Oh, it was so much fun, and that scene is so nice. And I think one of the funniest thing is that was actually one of the best things in that movie was that was the first time we got to see the burrow and
Oh my, like
properly like get
he
to know.
in the garden and like stuff like
Yeah,
that. So perfect, man.
yeah, 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 honestly, dude, and meeting the Weasley's family and the mom and
Yeah. And
oh
then
my
Ron's
god,
still embarrassed. He's like, I know it's not much. And Harry's like, I love it. He just cuts
yeah,
him
yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
like, shut up, dude. Like this is what, because it's
Also,
his.
also, his dad at asking about ducks, rubber ducks.
Oh yeah, he's just so
What is the
fascinated.
function of rubber ducks? Like, just the fact that that's like they don't even know what a rubber duck is just because like they're that like away from the human world as the visiting families in
And
general. That was such a fun thing too.
it's just
It's
like,
these small details, right? Like
yeah.
just these small details.
And then you have Lockhart, right? Like the idiot who just keeps
Oh,
flexing on.
that guy was so dumb. So, sorry, Sheeples. I think there was an issue in our connection right in between. Like suddenly it got cut off, and we kind of had to stop the recording and then again start it again.
Yeah,
So
the choice of COVID-19 and recording remotely. So yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a
sorry
little
for that.
dicey, and our audio at times does get messed up because we are recording from
Yeah,
our own
but
phone.
it's Harry Potter, so we're gonna jump right in with
Oh
a
yeah, yeah.
oh,
uh,
God.
but again, we kind of left off at talking about the burrow
The Burrow,
uh,
yeah.
in
What
the
nice
second movie.
name,
Like,
such a comforting name, like a house for
yeah,
bunnies. Burrow.
the fact that like just having those Weasleys, and I think we spoke about uh, the duck thing where
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah.
Weasley was
Yeah.
asking Harry about what is the function of a rubber duck and all those kind of things.
It's so cute,
It
man.
was
His curiosity.
yeah.
Arthur Weasley.
Also, I think in that movie we kind of got to learn a lot more about how Voldemort, rather Tom Riddle,
Yeah.
uh, had genuinely had like a very manipulative side to him, and his personality was just like the right balance of charming and smart to actually get people to do what he wants, because that's how he kind of tricked Ginny and
Ginny, yeah.
Harry to kind of do the things that or talk to him and kind of listen to whatever he's saying and all those kind of things, and the
Yeah.
whole the whole fact that we got to see a little bit of his interaction with Dumbledore,
Yeah.
and got to see what Hagrid was
Fuck,
was
that is
trying to
so
hide.
heartbreaking, man. Hagrid
Yeah,
took the fall for Aragog, and it was
oh
a
yeah,
lie, man. I mean, it's so unfair that Hagrid was just cast out. It like
I
makes me all
swear, eh?
mad. Like, and
Al-
that's also because of Voldemort. Like that fucker
yeah,
ruining
yeah, no,
lives.
that freaking Tom Riddle, man.
Yeah,
Um, but Voldemort, and we say his name proudly because we are not scared to say
yeah.
his
He
name
who
in
shall
general.
be fucking named. Like fuck
Yeah,
you.
he who shall be named.
You will be named, motherfucker.
Uh, but honestly, like I think it was a very interesting way to start the whole story of okay, this is who Voldemort was, and this
Yeah.
was what his personality might have been like, and just the fact that we got a glimpse of it, and then see, and I think one of the best things that they did in this movie was the way they showed the basilisk.
Fuck,
Like
dude. That
that
is
was such a
insane.
cool.
Like, and like the whole involvement of parcel tongue, and like how when Harry like speaks parcel tongue for the first time and everyone in the school is freaking the fuck out,
Oh
and then
yeah, dude.
no one talks to him after that. He's just like he becomes like an art. And I mean, it's so unfair that happens to him so many times throughout the movies, right? He just becomes an outcast, and then everybody's like, "Oh no, wait, we're friends again." And they're like, "No, no, 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 my mom told me I can't talk to you." And like someone says something about the newspaper, and then suddenly he's undesirable number one. Like so much
I think
psychological
that's the
trauma.
that's the thing with his popularity and his struggle as well, right? Like his
Yeah,
struggle to be the normal guy, the guy who doesn't want to be the boy who lived, right? He wants to be the boy who's normal and just like have friends and have
yeah,
a have a fun life, have a normal school year for once,
yeah.
for
Because
once.
he's not had like a regular childhood at all. Like I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
interesting. He grows up in a household where they're devoid of emotion. I mean, okay, great. Petunia takes him in and all of that, like, all right.
yeah.
But like, boo fucking who, right? I mean, just treat him like a kid. Like, don't make him live
You
under
know,
the
you know, one
stairs
very
and
interesting theory for this that
yeah,
I read online was the fact that since Harry was a Horcrux, being in a vicinity of Horcruxes can really change your personality and make you like worse, right? In general, because
oh yeah,
remember
we see
how
that with
Ron,
Ron
Ron
wearing
had been affected,
yeah.
yeah, and the fact that Harry was with these guys for what 11 years of his life. Uh, People like someone said that it might be because he's a Horcrux, and they were like, and since they are humans and Muggles rather, they were affected because of that.
Either ways, I
And
think Dumbledore was the mastermind of everything. Like, I remember just having frustration towards Dumbledore and like, why the fuck could you not spell it out like simple? But I think it's a lot like real life, right? Like, I know there are a lot of people who think that there is not anything beyond the life that we see and hear. But I think
Mhm.
just like real life, if the purpose of life was given to you right at the beginning, I mean, we think that it would make life so much easier, but I think it would just make life worse. And I think probably somewhere Dumbledore had that wisdom that
Mhm.
is supposed to like put out low dosages to Harry and not let him know everything up front. But it's really frustrating, man.
Also,
Like,
the fact that Harry wouldn't be able to handle all the
yeah, right?
information beforehand, right?
We had to
Like
grow.
yeah, he had to grow. He had to get. I don't know. He had to become more responsible to be able to take up that fight against the whole Death Eaters and the idea that these people were such a bad regime of like just such bad people that wanted to
Yeah,
completely remove the whole idea of like muggles and mudbloods from the world
yeah.
and all those kind of things.
No,
And
but I'm so glad that juxtaposed with that you have Harry meeting the Weasleys. Like
yeah,
I think those are some of his best memories of just feeling like being at home
yeah, like just
and
having a
it,
family and
yeah,
Mr. and Mrs. Weasley actually treating him as like
it's
one
just
of their children
brilliant.
is
I mean,
pretty
even later on in the series, when they know that housing Harry is going to put their own family at threat, I mean, dude, they
yeah,
lose a son to him. Like, what, what,
yeah.
what? I mean, how can you be that selfless? But they still are. I mean, you don't see them hating on Harry because their son died. Like, they're still very. But okay, riddle me this. There are
uh,
two disappearances that happen in the movie that I just can't explain or probably I can't remember right now. But Percy Weasley and Crookshanks just seem to like disappear. And
Percy, I mean, we know what happens with Percy in the books
yeah, he
anyways.
fights and he leaves the house, but he doesn't
Yeah.
appear later at all, right? Like we don't know what happens after the war.
So the thing is, actually, yeah, no, he does. There are bits and pieces of his story here and there. I can tell you this that, and I think this is also because I kind of got into Pottermore and read up a little more about the whole idea of what Percy did
Okay.
and all that. After like this, he loved his family in general. the only thing was that he had very different ambitions from what his family had, right? And that's why he fought and left, and he didn't agree with what like his father was doing and in the ministry, and he was like, you could be better, you could you could get promoted and all that. Why do you still like want to study muggles and all that? And the whole idea, and Percy wanted to do his own thing, and he wanted to reach the whole minister position kind of stuff,
Yeah,
right? He
dude,
wanted
the
to
whole
be at top.
dynamic between him and
Yeah.
Fred and George is hilarious. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like
always
Fred and George are amazing, man.
ragging
I
the
love
fuck
those
out
two.
of him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the whole thing was that once he leaves, and when all this war happens, and when like in between, we all know that he's with the minister
Like,
whenever
he
like
becomes
they're even like giving
assistant to the
orders against
minister.
the Weasleys. Yeah, like they're giving orders against Weasleys or whatever, and like Percy did keep writing to them, trying to convince them like you should listen to the ministry. Like it was his way of trying to protect them, though he wasn't doing the right thing at the time, or he didn't realize what he was doing at the time. And after the war, when he also sees that Fred has died, and like when he genuinely like gets to know about the whole thing, and he's with his family, he repents, he takes part in the war as well, right? So
Oh,
he
he does.
repents.
'Cause I don't. Is that part of the fandom or is it part of the book in the movie?
um it's there in the I mean, I remember reading it on Pottermore. I don't remember if this was in the
Okay.
book or not.
Because I
But
think as far as the book and the, I mean, I could be
he
wrong.
was there. No, he was there, dude. He was one of the first people to go and sit next to Fred's body.
Oh, okay. Then I might, my
He
memory
he
might be
he was
hazy.
he was the one who consoled Ron, and he's still like according to the book, he's still repents the fact, or regrets the fact that he had left his family in between, because he realized his own thing. He realized what was happening. The ministry itself was also corrupt, and how the things are happening all around in the wizarding world. What was all with the
You
rise of the
remember
Death
that?
Eaters and all
You
those
remember
kind
that
of things.
Patronus that comes in the seventh movie? It's like the ministry has fallen.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, 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 yeah. Dude, that
God.
was
During Bill's wedding, Goose fucking bumps so
crazy,
hard.
man.
Like,
But yeah, like on Fred's passing is the time like he really like gives. He's the one who hugs Ron first, and he's the one
yeah.
like he's there. He is showing that emotion of he loves he does love his family. He knows what he did is wrong, and he will be there to make it right in general. And yeah, I think
Fair. And do you remember any more Crookshanks?
Crookshanks. I don't think I remember what
Based out,
exactly
right? I
happened in
mean,
Crookshanks.
like secretly, I'm like, wait, I want to discover a plot hole. I want to discover, but I think the authors and the publication are way too smart. I think they've covered up
Yeah.
all those loose ends. They've tied everything down.
Huh.
But yeah, man, just like second book was also fucking brilliant, and